It is only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up? It is August 2nd, and I am Ali Madawi, your host with the Avocado Toast, with a brand new installment of Yup Daily. And oh my goodness, I got a good one for you today. We're going to talk about EQ, emotional quotient, and specifically emotional intelligence. So, how many of you usually are wondering, maybe I'm not good enough at something? Maybe I don't have what it takes to win. Maybe the thinking is impacting the behavior, right? Well, I'm going to show you here that it doesn't matter how intelligent somebody is or how high your IQ is. That's really just the 10% operational system of your mindset. It's really EQ, or the emotional intelligence, that's impacting everything that you do. And I'm going to show you the 5 specific traits or 5 characteristics that you must work on in order to kill all those limiting beliefs and control your emotional intelligence. Why? You do your own research on any success story, anyone that you can admire, billionaire, millionaire, or just 100,000aires, and you will find out that they actually have these emotional intelligence characteristics to the top. And I'm going to share them with you today so you can have them as well. Let me say good morning here. What's going on? Joanne Kimbo from PA, Weenie from Sydney, Australia. Hey, Elizabeth Cousins, what's going on, Rockstar? Anthony from Netherlands. What's up? What's up? Debbie Simons from Massachusetts. Perinda from Chicago. And Weenie, I love the shirt. I love you, Weenie. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. So here's the thing. Let's talk about it today. Number one, the first thing that you have to have in order to have an incredible top of the line emotional intelligence, and that is control your emotions. See, people who are successful don't let the highs become really exciting and the lows take them down. And the reason I share this with you, unfortunately, there are many people who they just go into this emotional roller coaster every single day, where they literally, one little poke in the wrong place and then wham, everything is wrong. Or they get a small win and they think, that's it, mama, we made it, let's go buy a house. But there's more into that. So whenever and at any time anything is taking place throughout your day, I want you to relax your mindset and just take it one day at a time. No matter how exciting it may be, celebrate for a little bit. Sure, take 5 minutes to yourself. But then after that, back to business. I'm here to tell you that I've had some incredible milestones in my career. And once I understood emotional intelligence and I hounded on it, and here's why. See, when you tell your mindset like, yay, we made it, this is the best thing ever, everything else in your mindset says, okay, I don't have to try as hard anymore. And you start falling into management mode, where you just want to manage others to sustain and maintain what you have. Rather, the mindset of, I'm not there yet, this is a great stepping stone, but I'm not there yet, is going to allow you to go so much further, so much bigger, so much better. My wife was messing with me over the weekend. We had our little man's celebration. We were, supposed to rain all day long. And on Saturday, we talked about the rain. And I was like, nah, it's not going to rain at all. She's like, it says 100% starting at 11. And this is a pool party. I was like, no, it's not going to rain. Now, it didn't rain. It doesn't mean that I'm some wizard or anything at all. It just, I understood, and I know that the forecast changes like literally by the minute nowadays. And I had a feeling that, as always, it says that it's going to rain all week long, and then it doesn't. And guess what? It didn't. So here's what my wife said. She goes like, you should manifest us making $1 million soon. I said, you're thinking too small. And that means that my emotional intelligence is finally like, and I didn't even realize what I said until she said it. I was like, you're thinking too small. She goes like $1 billion. I'm like, hey, you're kind of getting there. And we laughed it off. But I understood at that very same moment that finally my emotional intelligence is getting where I need it to be. And what I mean by that is usually people get excited about $10,000 a month. You know, people get excited about $100,000 a month. I don't think money, first of all, is the real wow factor. It's the impact that money is going to allow us to do. But again, I think $1 million is too small. I had the same conversation with a few individuals who were, a gentleman and his partner. Oh my God, Ali, this will be perfect for you. You could do great things. Come join us. Come this, come that. And as great as that sounded, here is what I told that gentleman. Like, listen, I'm extremely focused on what I have going on right now. We're taking a company public. We just launched crowdfunding. I got so many verticals and so many people that I cater to. I can't add anything on my plate right now. Not that I can't handle it. I just don't want to. I'm focused. Ali, I guarantee you, man, like give this a year to a year and a half. We could literally put ourselves in $1 million a month. And I said, you're thinking too small. He was like, did you just say $1 million a month? I'm like, yeah, you're definitely thinking too small for the impact that I'm creating. That is way too tiny. Again, that's not arrogance. That's not me knowing it all. It's just me being in control of my emotions overall. I don't get excited over $1 million, and I definitely don't dwell over losing, money, companies, businesses, cars, whatever the case may be. It's like, okay, it's another day. We keep it moving forward. So number one, you must control your emotions. You cannot let anything sway you left or right. Sometimes people even mistake controlling emotions for being crude. Think about if you ever watch Shark Tank. The sharks, it gets really heated between them. But just like that, once the person walks out of that carpet, they look at each other and they laugh. They high five as if nothing happened. They don't hold on to that emotion. They just let it go immediately and instantly. They get deals for hundreds of millions of dollars, and they just let that emotion go. You have to have the same exact concept for yourself. You must be in control of your own emotions. Number two is to be honest with yourself. Now, what does that mean? That means do not commit business suicide, right? Sometimes you got to cut the umbilical cord and go somewhere else. Sometimes you got to quit what you're doing to become better at what you have in front of you. It's okay. I know there's the stigma. People are being picked on by digital marketers, or as I call them, hype marketers at times. I'm here to tell you that you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest when it's time for you to pull back, or when it's time for you to take a step or two back. Taking a step or two back doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It means in order to take that big, crazy jump, I have to take 1 to 2 steps, right? Think about it. Whenever you take those 2 steps to take that jump, it's a much higher, much bigger jump. It's the same exact thing in here. So you have to be honest with yourself. You have to know what I need to work on me. When I don't know what I don't know, when I have to admit that's not my area of expertise, when I have to admit I really, really, really messed up and I shouldn't have done what I have done. The reality is we know the truth. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, you may be mistaken. You may not understand certain things, but someone is going to call you out and tell you certain things. Are you being honest with yourself and accepting the responsibility of what is being put before you? Or are you being, again, arrogant, cocky, condescending, passive aggressive, mean, problematic? Those are things that are going to come out of your mouth and your body if you are not being honest with yourself. So 2, be honest with yourself. Number 3, and this actually is connected to number 2, is to have empathy. So empathy is just simply listening and understanding and caring enough about others before yourself. Sometimes you hear somebody who, I've had people who are really, really rude in stores that I'm supposed to pay. And they're like, you got to wait, sir. I'm like, I'm the client in here. I'm paying. Like, why is this person being like rude to me? But here's two circumstances, the very or scenarios. The very first one is me reacting like, "Excuse me, I need to speak to your manager. What kind of craziness is this?" And blah blah blah. See, their emotion now has impacted my emotion. Now all of a sudden, I am just as bad as they are. Or showing empathy. Scenario number two. Man, I wonder how many people that came before me that just treated them like garbage, that they just can't handle it anymore. You see that in TSA agents a lot. If some of you travel, TSA agents, they're notorious for, "Take the computer out of the bag. Sir, put that down. No, come on, hurry up, hurry up." They're yelling at you all the time, right? They're oblivious to the fact that they're yelling at you because there were tens of thousands of people that came before you every single day, and they treated them like dirt. They treated them really bad. So showing empathy, which is my favorite thing to do, when I get that treatment, I'm like, "Whatever you say, John. Hey, how's your day going, man?" And John will be like, "It's crazy, man." One of those days, I'm like, "I totally get it, man. And listen, I appreciate for what you're doing. Like, no one can handle it better than you do." And just like that, you see that person's emotion just completely change and shift. And immediately they realize they could be better people. So, you know that concept of "be the change you wish to see in the world" by Mahatma Gandhi? Well, you can do it simply by empathizing, by being empathetic, by showing respect to others, understanding and caring for others. I'm telling you, it drops that defensive mechanism, that meaningness that the person have. Is that a word, meaningness? I'll take it. Let me have it. Let me run with meaningness. Can I have it? Okay, good. So showing empathy is a huge fix to every problem that you could have around you. And, it leads again to number 4 that I'm about to share with you right now. And number 4 is the ability to influence within 5 to 10 seconds. I mean, immediate influence. So what's better to influence someone than to truly and genuinely, keyword genuinely, empathize with them? See, when you're telling somebody like, "Oh man, tell me more," and you genuinely, not a strategy or a technique, because they'll eventually feel your vibe. When you genuinely care enough to listen and allow that person to empty their chest full of like craziness and anger or whatever is in there, like, "Man, that's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that. What else? What can we do to fix it?" When you're showing that empathy, immediately you have influence. Immediately, you and that person are in the same frequency. You are parallel. You're sitting on the same side of the table, instead of me calling the person out. "Well, it's not the company. It's you. You're the one who's not working. It's this, it's that." No, don't get me wrong. There are certain limitations to, how much empathy, because now you don't want to also, make the person feel like they're entitled to do whatever they want and there is no timeout. No, there is timeout and there's discipline, but you got to do it in the right terms, in the right circumstance. But the ability to influence people who are extremely successful are very influential. That's one of their traits. I mean, think about anyone, anywhere, just starting a business or extremely successful. If they have the ability to influence within that first 5 to 10 seconds, my goodness, they are dangerous in the business space. But it also has to coexist with empathy. It has to coexist with being honest with yourself. And it has to be congruent with the ability to control your emotions. If one is better than the other, that's okay. But if you lack in the other ones that I just shared with you, you need to work on it. Otherwise, you're going to be imbalanced. You're really good at attracting people and you upset them real quick. Those are, opposite forces. So it's not going to work out for you. And this is why I'm sharing with you these 5 traits. Number 5 is motivation. And that means motive in action. I've done a whole training for our community on this last Wednesday rather. So motivation and action, and action, or motive rather in action. The keyword motive is a hidden knowledge or a hidden reason as to why we've done something. Well, where is it hidden? Up here. That's why we work on our subconscious mindset. Subconscious mindset is in the limbic brain. The limbic brain is subconscious, emotional, and reactive. The neocortex is where you are creating the thoughts process. So that's why it is a hidden motive. Excuse me. So with that being the case, you have to work on the thought process that is creating the right motives in order for you to take the right action. Now, motivation is something that definitely needs to be refueled, just like a gas tank. However, if you are only watching motivational videos all day, but you are not influencing or creating the ability to influence others, if you are not empathetic to everyone around you, if you are not being honest with yourself and your flaws and what you need to work on, and if you are not able to control your emotions. It doesn't matter how many emotional videos you can watch. It doesn't matter how many affirmations. These 5 pieces have to coexist together, and you have to work on them every day. It is not a one and done. What I'm sharing with you right now is not a starting point. It's not a graduating point. This is a starting point. I'm sharing with you what you need to work on in order for you to develop yourself. And the more you work on these 5 elements, the more attractive you become to the marketplace. They call that personal growth. They call that being valuable. They say, my goodness, what changed, Ali? 14 years and 3 months worth of working on my emotional intelligence, working on a lot of flaws that I still have, working on my reactions, working on my triggers, working on my traumas, working on all those things that I was and used to be. And now I'm becoming better. I feel better. I feel valuable. I feel like I give you good stuff every single day. I feel that I can impact every single area of your life. And it is not me hyping up myself. It's me being honest with myself. And before, I used to think I don't have anything good to say. I used to think I'm not good enough. But now I know for a fact, working on myself every day in these 5 different areas, I can do that. Now, what is the best way to work on IQ and EQ, or intelligence quotients or emotional quotient, is simply to work on yourself every single day. Pick a piece, whatever piece that I just shared with you right now, and work on it for the next 30 days. But I mean, when I say work on it, not reading about it for 20 minutes a day. I mean, from the moment you wake up till you go to sleep, you attack it head on. That's the only thing I'm working on. That's the only thing. And everything I do, my prospecting, my business presentations, is going to be with that piece that I'm working on head on. See, when you are aware and conscious of what you're working on, things tend to change around you. It's like when you tell yourself, enough, I'm about to lose weight. I'm not going to allow my body to get to just get comfortable like this ever again. Even if you're still working in the same place, living in the same house, you are aware, and therefore you change your spending habits on eating out. You change it, which impacts your money as well, right? You change your eating habits every single day. You start eating better, and by default, you start losing the weight. It is the same exact thing in here. You got to work on yourself each and every single day. You got to impact your emotional intelligence. Otherwise, every time you get a no, it's like you got boo. You get scared. You shut down. You say, I got to take some time off and I'll pray about it. You just need to work on your emotional intelligence. That is the main key for me, at least, in order for me to create daily success, hourly success, weekly success, and so on and so forth. It is all about emotional intelligence. And I'm human. You know, I need to remember, it needs to be refueled. It's like a gas tank. That's why I read 1 or listen to 1 to 3 books every single week. And some are going to be like, that is too much. That is too hardcore. You're right. You need to work on your emotional intelligence. You're telling yourself something that is absolutely not true, because this is a guy who didn't speak a word of English 18 or going on 19 years ago. And he's doing all the things that he's doing every single day. So if I know I could do it, I know you could do it. If I am proving it to you right now that it is possible, it's just your limited beliefs. You're forcing your limitations on everybody around you. Oh, it's too hard. Okay. That's your thinking process. That's your emotional intelligence. That's the way you operate. That's your iOS, right? Your independent operating system. My iOS says there is no limitation. There's nothing but abundance. Everything is possible. I am healing myself each and every day. And that is not just affirmations. I live it. I wake up every day at 4 to 4:30 in the morning, and I don't go to sleep until 9:30, 10 o'clock. And boy, I live the best life ever. I have my family first. I have my business. I have everything that I ever wanted. I am spiritually happy with where I am in my life, and you can do the same exact thing. So if you want what I have, you got to do what I do. And what that is, emotional intelligence to a whole new level. I appreciate you, and I thank you. Tomorrow we'll be back with a brand new Yup Daily again at the same time at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are in our private community with the Young Entrepreneur Project, remember, we are helping entrepreneurs either start, grow, or scale a business, or you can also get paid by mentoring others within our own community. And if you've missed it, right down here, YupToFreedomTour.com. PA, we're coming to you Friday and Saturday. Well, Saturday is the main event. Friday is just fun for our trainers and coaches. But we are going to be in Pennsylvania and Philly, to be exact, this Saturday from 1 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've reduced the price to $10. It was $67. We dropped it to $10. So what's your excuse for not spending 5 hours with some of the best master coaches that you can ever have access to and learn everything you need to do to create the next version of success for yourself and impact your emotional intelligence as well? For everybody else, we'll see you at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in our private leadership session tonight. And boy, oh boy, it's going to be a hot seat. I'll see y'all tonight. Have a blessed day.